Irish Web TV. This evening in the studio I have a fabulous group of very busy ladies, and let me introduce you to them. I've got Julie McAvinney, Maria Jordan O'Reilly, Irene Donegan and Vanda Brady. Now these ladies have taken part in the next chapter and Cavan Speaks, and to tell you exactly all about that I'm going to ask Julie. Julie, will you explain exactly what is the next chapter?
So the next chapter is led by Politics Plus in conjunction with NICVA and Irish Rural Link, and we're supported by the EU Peace 4 funding, and it's managed by the Special EU Programmes Body. The next chapter is a programme for women of all backgrounds and ages in Northern Ireland and the border counties, and it's basically to develop their ideas, build communities and to support transition out of conflict.
Okay, so you have got, I want to ask Maria next. Maria, what is Cavan Speaks about?
Well, Cavan Speaks is a community project which is coming to you from the ladies of the next chapter in Cavan. And it was born of a desire to show the positive sides of diversity and inclusion in our communities. And from its very inception, we've really tried to promote inclusion and working across social and cultural divides. For example, the team we chose to work with us filming the project was Irene Donegan, who is very well versed and very skilled in his video making, and a gentleman by the name of Dmitry Germanov, who is a Lithuanian student here in Cavan who is learning video techniques. So we kind of tried to promote the inclusion and diversity within the project itself as we were working on it. So after some discussions around our table on the next chapter, we decided that what we wanted to do was a series of videos highlighting people who have moved into County Cavan. So the videos comprise of people who have moved from other areas of Ireland, different counties, and also from people who have moved to other countries. And they are all now in Cavan and calling Cavan home. So while I was talking to all these wonderful people, I found such a diversity of positive experiences being told to me. We talked a lot about why people chose to come to Cavan and make it their home. We also asked them what Cavan offered them around support and welcome. But even more importantly, we spoke to all of them about what they brought to their new communities in Cavan and how they were enriching the communities here now in our county.
Well done. There is an event next Friday, and I'm going to speak to Irene about that. You'll tell us about that. But will the videos be shown on the night?
On next Friday during the day. The event starts at 10. And yes, the videos will be shown at the event. So
tell us all about that, Irene. You are the PRO for the Cavan Speaks, and tell us about your event, which is a free event next Friday, and it's in Cavan Crystal Hotel.
Yeah, it's in Cavan Crystal Hotel from 10 until 2. As you say, it's a free event. We would encourage people to register with Eventbrite so that we can match accommodation for the number of people coming. It's not that we're collecting
information.
How many are you
expecting, or how many do you want to have on the day? Can you cope for?
We don't have, I suppose, a set figure. I mean, we would be happy if there were 100 people there on the day. We're having a number of guest speakers. We're having Anthony J. Quinn, who's the writer in residence for Cavan, very well-known author. We're having Con Cullen, who's the senior youth worker with Bounce Back for the youth. We're having Grania Boyle from the Social Inclusion Officer at Cavan County Council. And the well-known artist Michelle Boyle was very interested in attending. Unfortunately, she's out of the country and can't attend, but she has sent one of her pieces along with information about how the themes of her work are about belonging and place. and interspersed with all those speakers, we'll be showing our videos.
Well done. So just before I get to speak to Vanda, I'd like to introduce you the ladies in the role that they play within Cavan Speaks. And they say that Julie here is the secretary, and Maria is the creative producer, or the creative director, I should say, and of course Irene is the PRO, and Vanda Brady, no stranger to Cavan TV, Vanda is the chairperson. Vanda, the question I was going to ask you is, when we heard what the ladies and the project is about, where will Cavan Speaks go from here?
First of all, I want to talk about the type of training that we had, and we were able to learn a lot of things from the course, from the next chapter. We had 5 modules, and it was a combination of learning about the political scenario in Ireland and in Northern Ireland. We also learned how to be a good leader. We also learned how to communicate and share our messages more effectively. And out of these training, we are hoping that this project, Cavan Speaks, it's an opportunity for us to use what we have learned. And we are very fortunate that we were able to come up with these videos, because it is a taste or a glimpse of what can be done from the women that are already in Cavan, and what the resources that we already have, and to give the opportunity for leaders or community members to speak out and share what they think about diversity and inclusion. And obviously we were hoping that what we will get out of the discussions on our event is for us to have an action plan to encourage people to speak out, share their stories, and get more projects and funding that will support integration projects in Cavan.
Well done, Vanda. So we'd like to stress as well that the event isn't just for ladies, it's for anybody who would like to attend. You're going to, as you say, inclusion and diversity, and they cover all age groups as well. You'd like to say that. I would like to say, and I'd like to impress upon people, what a busy group of ladies you have here, and I don't say that lightly. You're involved in the Bailey Creative Hub, and also in the Heritage in that area as well. You're a member of the Filipino Consulate, Vanda, and Irene there is a member of a political party. We won't go down the political party road. We won't mention that. If you want to mention it, fine. But you also are a volunteer with the Citizens Information, and yourself, Julie.
Yes, part of Project Belturbet.
Project Belturbet, right? Such busy ladies, and well done. So you already, and your idea of Cavan Speaks is to get people involved into the community, and as you said earlier, not just making the tea in the kitchen, but having a speak, being out there, being a leader. Do you find it's hard, and I'll ask Maria this question, do you find it's hard to get women to be leaders, or is it just something that's natural to them? In general,
I think there's a difference between women in private life and women in public life. If you look at any family, generally speaking, the woman is the leader. But if you look at public life, there are not enough women stepping up to take leading roles. Now, whether that's in their own community, of getting a community project started and running it.
It's kind of a culture.
It's kind of a cultural thing. It is changing and it is shifting. But we very definitely, as women, have 2 different personas, the private and the public. We're very capable leaders. We're capable organisers. We just need to step up. We need to get that confidence, which is something the next chapter has given us, to take that, realise the skills we have, and then just step up and go, yes, I can do this. And I'm not afraid to do it in the public eye.
That's brilliant, yeah. So some ladies sitting at home tonight and watching this saying, God, I'd love to get out and get involved in these kinds of things. This is what you do. Yeah. You get involved and go to your meetings and get involved. Julie, I was going to say to you that women in politics, again, women normally don't. They like to take the backhand and things. But you're promoting this, and you want to see more women to take part in politics and having a better say.
Yes, that is part of the next chapter. That's what they aim to do. They aim to improve representation of women in public and political life. And basically, that's what the training has been doing with us for the last couple of months. We've been involved since January. And we've been to Stormont, we've been to the Dáil, and it's really learning how to put our feet into the water and not to be afraid to step forward and be leaders.
And no better than a group of ladies to give each other courage, may I say. So Vanda, let's get back to the inclusion and the diversity. And we were just speaking a little earlier as well, and we were saying there are in Cavan 37 different ethnic groups in Cavan. Am I correct?
Yes,
saying
that's
that?
what we know so far, but I'm sure there are more. And it's not only ethnic communities, it's not only different cultures, but also a lot of Irish, new Irish or other Irish members in the community that come from different counties, and not just as well Irish or other cultures, but others from other sectors as well, like from the LGTB groups. We are open to any sector at all, and it's important to just appreciate and understand all these differences, no matter where or what you are. It's just nice that there should be a voice and there should be a dialogue that should start among us to start really appreciating and accepting everyone in Cavan. And there's so many out there who has a story to share. And it's just get them moving and just to start, to encourage them to start talking.
And from what you're saying, ladies, and talking about the Cavan Speaks and the bigger chapter, the bigger project, the next chapter, what I can hear from you, what I can glean from you is that this this can be very much for young people as well as very much for older people who have time on their hands and perhaps want to do something with their life. So I think it's a brilliant idea all around for all ages.
That's true, and it's something that has come up quite a lot in our meetings, in our chapter meetings, that we had wished at the beginning that we had actually looked at TY students, young girls in schools that during the TY year had come along to the programme, because again we need to be looking at women from a very early age not being afraid to step forward and put their voices out there.
Now, Irene, I would ask you, as you're the PRO of the Cavan Speaks, and I would say to you, if there is women out there saying, God, I'd love to get involved in their group, I'd love to know something about that. Heck, I always wanted to do something like that, but I never had the courage to do it. How do they go about it?
Well, it's very easy to get in contact with Next Chapter, who are running the...
Google.
Well, you can Google it, you can get it on Facebook. And they're very easily contacted if somebody wants to do it.
So is there meetings or anything you can get, or is it, do you just go online or join, or what?
Well, we're nearly finished this part of it now. This part of the project is finishing up in December. We are hoping when there's more funding available, hopefully in the next peace project, that there will be funding again for it, because it has really been a huge success. It's been very empowering to us, the Cavan chapter, and I think with people coming along to Friday, they'll see how much we've actually learned through the course.
So we'd like to say it once again, folks, that next Friday, and that is, what date is that?
27th.
The 27th of September, 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the Cavan Crystal Hotel. It's a free event and it's an inclusive event for everybody. Just one more thing before we go, ladies. It's great, as you say, pick up some of the words there, empowering to ladies. That's excellent. Inclusive. And no more so than we talk about, different cultures. We talk about different genders now. And great for women to stand up and be alone. But again, it's not a feminism thing. It's more of a proactive.
It's proactive, and it's about building relationships and having conversations. So you might think, I couldn't do something as big as the Next Chapter. But what you can do is you can find somebody you have never talked to before and sit and have a conversation and listen, and you'd be surprised how much you learn.
Yeah, and I find it's so interesting to meet different people you have never spoken to before, get out there and meet them. You strike up and you get relationships and you go, gosh, that's really interesting, tell me about that. And this is what this is all about.
Yes.
One more thing, ladies, I'd like to wish you the very best for your event on Friday. Is there anything else you'd like to say just before is there anything, have we everything said? Julie, can you think of everything?
I suppose it's just to say that the next chapter is a programme for women of all backgrounds and ages across Northern Ireland and the border counties, and it's there to develop ideas and build communities and to support transition out of conflict. So the next chapter has really been very empowering to us women. So, and again, I suppose it's just to say to people, don't be afraid to get involved in your local community. Women should really put their foot forward and go ahead and try it.
Yeah, well done, ladies. I must say you're an inspirational bunch of ladies. Well done. Your backgrounds and the interests and all that you've worked in and done so far are absolutely fantastic, and more fair play to you and more power to you is all I can say. Well done. Thank you for coming into the studio this evening. I'm going to give you a lineup of who the ladies are again. We've got Julie McAvinney, who's the Secretary of Cavan Speaks. We've got Maria Jordan O'Reilly from Ballyborough, and Maria is the Creative Director. We've got Irene, who is, she says herself, she's the only Cavan born and bred lady here this evening, and Irene is the PRO, and we've got our own Vanda Brady, and Vanda is the Chairperson. Well done, ladies. Thank you so much for coming into the studio this evening. Thank you. And also we'd like to say as well, we'd like to thank Positive Age for their studio facilities here this evening, and also to Sarah for their fibre broadband service here in Cavan. So, as I say, a very informative evening this evening. It was great talking to you, ladies, and the best of luck with your project. Well, that's it, and good night from us on Irish Web TV.